It's a romantic dream to move to the country, work fewer hours, and turn a hobby into a family business. But that's just what Carol and John Rowell and their daughter Sophie are doing.
It's giving us all something that we've always wanted.
They're building a new life in the beautiful Lincolnshire Fens, where they plan to turn this derelict Methodist chapel and 3 acres of land into a family home and horse riding business. But determined to be mortgage-free, John plans to tackle most of the build himself.
The hours that he does, from early morning until the light goes, he's physically and mentally shattered.
If I was a marathon runner, I'm probably at the 20-mile stage. My legs have gone, everything's gone, and I'm just telling myself to keep going.
John and Carol Rowell have decided that a quality of life is far more important than having a large and expensive home. So they've made the massive life-changing decision to downsize and move to the country in pursuit of their dream of having a stress-free and mortgage-free life. The couple are leaving behind a life in Nottingham, where they work very long hours to support a huge mortgage.
Since about February this year, something's been pushing me to sell and move. I was just not enjoying life. I was just going through the motions.
Although Carol loves her job in a busy optician's, she hardly ever sees husband John, who travels the country 7 days a week as a building surveyor.
I nearly fell asleep at the wheel on 2 occasions up in Scotland. And that was one of the triggers, really, that told me I've just got to get out of this life.
I think it's beginning to wear him down, and I want John back. A fresh John.
So they're hoping to create a brand new mortgage-free life for the family. They've sold their house in Nottingham and are moving with their daughter Sophie to rural Lincolnshire, where they've bought this 19th century chapel and 3 acres of land where they can keep their horses. But until their stables are built, the family are forced to live apart. John and Carol are already in the Fens, living in static caravans on site. But Sophie is still in Nottingham, looking after the horses in a rented field.
I can't go till these guys can go, and these guys can't go till the houses are up.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, John. How are you?
Hi, George.
Good to see you.
Good. And
Hi,
you?
Carol. How are you?
Well? Yes, thank you very well.
This is a wonderful little building, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly is.
And why are you doing this? Why have you been passionate about doing your own building?
I've been looking to take sort of semi-retirement, and the only way we could do it was to move this far out, so we could sell up, get rid of the mortgage, and buy something like this.
And what about you, Carol? What's your passion for this site and for this land?
Oh, right. Always wanted to have my own paddock. We've had an interest in horses since Sophie was 4. So to have a property with acres to put the horses in, our horses, so I can sort of wake up and they're there, I can watch them in the field, playing, whatever.
And you're actually quite excited about being involved in the whole building process and creating your dream home together.
Oh yeah, it was only a few months ago. I was sat in the lounge. I said to Carol, "I'm bored. I want something interesting to do."
John won't be bored anymore. He and Carol have taken on a huge project. They plan to renovate the old chapel and add a new mirror image building to create a fantastic home. The new build will provide the basic living accommodation with bedrooms and a bathroom on the first floor and a lounge and study below. A glass atrium will spectacularly link the new build to the old existing chapel, and this will be the main living space. Keeping the building's full height, the chapel will be transformed into a welcoming kitchen and dining area. It's a huge project, but one that must stay on budget if they're to be mortgage-free. Using the profit from the sale of their Nottingham home, they've paid £193,000 for the chapel and have £90,000 left to fund the build. Fantastic. It's a great space, isn't it?
Yeah, wonderful.
It is. So we've got all this that I can design, Arga, stove, which is going to heat the whole house.
Yeah.
It's going to be a really warm, welcoming place.
When you look around in here, it's in a pretty sad, sorry state.
I don't see
It really
that.
is.
Don't see that.
You don't see that, do you not? You don't see the damp and you don't see all the...
Once that plaster's fetched off and it's been allowed to dry out,
Yeah.
I'm sure that's all it needs.
Well, but
Once the cracking's been
it's
sorted.
a wet, damp building. There is a lot to do, isn't there? You've got to do new windows,
Yeah.
new roof, new plastering, new decoration, new floors, sort out the structural work. It's a big project. It's a small building,
It is.
but a big project.
Yeah.
To keep costs down, John plans to do as much of the work himself and project manage the build. As a building surveyor, he certainly has the expertise needed, but I'm not convinced his 90 grand budget is realistic. And the expenditure doesn't stop there. On the 3 acres of land, they plan to erect a small block of stables for their horses. But that's not all. Behind these, they have big plans to construct a much larger stable block and open a commercial livery yard. So tell me about the new business venture.
With people that want their own horses but haven't got their own land, obviously they have to put them somewhere with a stable and grazing. So that's what we'll be offering.
We have planning permission for the 3 stables in connection with this property. I have another planning application to create the commercial side by adding more land on and 5 more stables.
So this planning permission for the additional 5 are absolutely essential for your dream, for the new business.
They are indeed, yes. Yeah, because that'll complete the dream.
John and Carol's move does seem like the perfect solution to fulfil the whole family's dreams. However, there are some enormous challenges ahead. The family are still living apart. Planning permission for the equestrian business is hanging in the balance, and there's a huge amount of work to do. The next few months are going to test their nerves to the limit. Carol and John Rowell have downsized and moved to the Lincolnshire countryside for a stress-free, mortgage-free life.
To find a property which gave us paddocks for the horses, it just seemed completely right, didn't it? That this was the project and let's go for it.
I'm so excited about this, and the fact that this is the beginning of the end of me having to work so hard.
The family's future relies on building surveyor John managing to convert this run-down 130-year-old chapel into a family home for just £90,000.
The purpose behind this whole project is for me to get rid of nearly all of my outgoings, the mortgage in particular.
Their daughter Sophie is also excited about the move, but is staying with friends in Nottingham till John has built stables for the family horses.
These are really miserable up here. It's really muddy. One of them has to go without a stable. I just want to get them down there.
Sophie's dream is to set up an equestrian business with her mum, but till they have planning permission, her future is uncertain. In midwinter, construction work begins. First job is to lay the foundations for the new half of the house.
So I've arranged for the bricklayer to start laying the foundation blockwork on Monday, and I really don't like to mess people about. I want everything here and ready for him to go.
Apart from renovating the old chapel, John and Carol's plan is to construct an identical new building which will be the sleeping and lounge area of their new home. They hope to finish the new section of the house by April, just 4 months away.
It's wonderful to get the concrete in. It's looking as though it's going really well too. As well.
There, John, where are you?
A hole?
Hi.
Hi, yeah.
Check it down that way, the ground.
As a qualified surveyor, John certainly has the knowledge to successfully project manage this build. He's also aware of the hard work that lies ahead.
There's a hell of a lot of responsibility for me to take on at the moment. Unfortunately, I can't really share that with anybody, so I've just got to stick with it for a while as regards getting all the contractors sorted and materials here at the right time, and of course getting the best prices as well.
With John busy on site, Carol is attempting to create some kind of a home for the family, despite the challenges of caravan living.
The water supply's been frozen, the electric's gone down. Because there was one night I just climbed into bed fully dressed. I thought, this is it, I'm just going to bed. It's not very glamorous, really.
John's time to deal with these problems is limited. Since Carol had to give up her full-time job when they moved, not only is he chief labourer and project manager on the build, he's also the only breadwinner in the family.
From quite a working class background, and I grew up just knowing that anything you wanted, you just got to go out and work for it, and work hard.
Taking advantage of the dry weather, John pushes himself to keep the build on track. But keen to reunite his family, building the stables is a priority, and in just 3 weeks, they're up. Sophie can now start her new life in Lincolnshire.
There we go. Good lad. Go then.
Now that the family are reunited, John can turn his attention back to the house. The priorities are to finish the roof on the chapel and press on with the brickwork for the new build.
The fact that things are happening so quickly, I don't really want to stop them, but it's putting a bit of pressure on me to just try and keep ahead of everybody.
This is one task John is wisely leaving to the experts. And with the brickies cracking on, he's back on the road again, earning an income. But juggling so many roles is beginning to take its toll.
I don't sleep much at the moment. I'll wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, mentally checking the sizes of the sills that I'm going to take round to the supplier. Responsibility for the whole project is purely down to me. I went there knowingly, and now we're living with it.
The hours that he does, from early morning until the light goes, and then trying to do his own design job as well, and remain motivated when I know he's physically and mentally shattered. It is worrying, it is.
Despite John being pulled in all directions, in just 8 weeks the replacement roof on the chapel is completed. The first stable block is in full use, and the new half of the house is already up to first floor level. John, I'm absolutely gobsmacked. I am.
Yeah.
I just, coming up the road and seeing the build as it is now, I just think it's unbelievable. You're so much further on than I thought you would be at this stage.
Yeah, well, they're a great team of bricklayers, and the roof, in fact, all the contractors that we've had here have just been so good.
And shall we go around and have a look at the build around here? Because it's just moving at such a pace.
So this is like a mini hallway. There'll be a staircase there leading up and round up to the first floor. That's the study through there, and this is the main living area.
So this is the main living area of your new home.
That's right.
It's great. And look, I can't believe this, you've even got,
got the fireplace.
fireplaces.
Yep.
It's brilliant. John has achieved so much in a short space of time. It's incredible how he's managed to do it. How's it been? I mean, it's obviously been good. It's obviously been very good, but in terms of managing this project?
Well, it's got really stressful for me. It's just been frenetic.
You've
every
been
day.
racing them, haven't you?
I've been going to bed with a bucket of Lego and Meccano in the house. Literally building the thing, thinking, now what we're going to need tomorrow. I've just got to keep in front of them.
You can see the amount of, blood, sweat and tears that are going into it. Really. This just doesn't happen on its own. It's got to be well organised and well managed, basically. And you're doing it.
Oh, look at him.
Leaking.
That's great. No, you should be proud of yourself. I think it's absolutely brilliant. Is it worth it?
Yeah.
Is it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, look at it. It's great.
but the end result is not just the house, it's not a new build, it's the change in the lifestyle. Relaxing on the garden bench with the beer,
That's right.
admiring the lot.
That's it.
And can you see
That's
that? Is that still in your
yeah,
mind?
yeah. The bench will be there, the sun will be setting down there, and I'll be watching it.
But there's been some bad news regarding the planning permission for their equestrian business.
Well, the original planning application's been rejected.
It's been rejected.
Yeah,
That's just ridiculous.
yeah, I think so too.
But how does that make you feel, Carol? Because it's such a big part of the dream for you and Sophie, but it's been turned down.
That is a big disappointment. It's left Sophie in limbo, really, at the moment. She doesn't really know which way to go. She's a young girl and she needs a career, she needs a job. And this would have been absolutely ideal. She would have got the best of both worlds. But we all agree that the important thing is to get the house finished.
This is a desperate blow, particularly for Carol and Sophie. But with the build already a third of the way through, the family are committed to carrying on, despite part of their dream fading away.
Might just have to accept that we're defeated at some point in the future, but not yet. We've just had round one, I think.
Determined to keep the rest of the dream alive, John pushes himself harder than ever to get a roof over his family's head by his April deadline. There's a lot to do in just 6 weeks.
Right. Up, and I'll get my jacket back. That's it.
The chimney is the last piece of brickwork on the new part of the house. Battling on in miserable weather, John decides to do the job himself to save vital cash.
I said to the bricklayers that, I asked them to just take it up as far as they felt comfortable with, and I'd do the rest, thinking that their pride wouldn't allow me to do it. But they didn't rise to the bait, unfortunately, so here I am, Saturday afternoon, blowing a gale and doing it. One brick at a time. I do like to do things myself, rather than send anybody else.
With John gallantly refusing all offers of help on the build, Carol's stuck in the caravan, dreaming of her new kitchen.
It'd be so nice to have a decent kitchen. We went looking at Arga cookers the other day. So we're thinking of a black cooker and probably bleached units. That's as far as we've got with that. But regarding the other interior parts, I've not thought about colours yet. It'd be nice to get to that stage where you're thinking of design. What do we want?
When spring finally breaks, the couple take a well-deserved rest from the build.
This is probably one of the first real nice days to come out and where it's not too cold and you've got the sun shining, so more and more than we should be experiencing this. It brings back memories, and we actually holidayed here, didn't we, in the caravan park, and sort of with a mountain bike through the woods, and it's just a great area to be. So it's great on a day like today if you come out and enjoy yourself and socialise.
And there's lots of nice pubs between here and home.
Lots of nice pubs selling real ale.
To enjoy their future life together, it's crucial that John's ambition to work less, have no debt and fewer outgoings succeeds. But after all his back-breaking efforts, he's realised the key feature of Carol's dream kitchen will have financial implications for years to come.
We had the Arga rep round to do a survey to tell us what we'd need and just to make sure that it was all feasible. By the time he'd gone, I decided not to have it because he told me it was going to cost £14 a week to run, as though that was a selling point. £14 a week, £600 a year. Our whole gas bill at the other place was only a bit more than that. And that's just to run the bloody cooker.
For Carol, this is a further blow, but she's firm in her support for John's ambition to cut their cost of living.
The idea was to move down here, downsize, so we could get rid of the mortgage, which relieves the pressure off John. He can choose more or less how frequent he wants to work, enough to keep the bills covered, etc. But obviously at the moment he's working harder than he was doing before because it's got to be completed. But that's the aim, so we can get rid of the mortgage and the pressure will be a lot less.
The cooker was to provide all the heat for the old chapel. Without it, the heating system for both buildings has to be completely rethought. Axing the range cooker may seem like a saving in the long term, but I'm worried in the short term it could cause costly delays. So John, the idea was that this place was going to be habitable by April.
Yeah.
And it's now, middle of May?
Yeah, we decided to extend the underfloor heating through into the chapel as well.
Right.
But that's all got to be done as one job. So we can't finish this off and move into it and then finish that off.
So all the delays for this whole project and not being able to move into here has all been because of that range cooker?
Yeah.
That one decision?
That's right.
It's put this whole project back by nearly 4 months?
Yeah, it's completely changed the whole programme.
So more work to keep financing the build?
Yeah.
So again, you're back in that position of juggling cash, your work, your stress, and getting the build finished as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
How are you finding it?
Well, you just have to cope.
You wanted to do all this to de-stress and lead a better quality of life.
Yeah.
How is it for you at the minute?
Well, we just had to pile on the stress for a bit longer, haven't we, to get the benefits of a stress-free life afterwards. I'm sure I will only know just how tired I am at the end of the project, when I'll just collapse.
The new part of this build is now well behind schedule. But the old chapel, well, John hasn't even started work on it properly yet, and I think he's completely underestimating the amount there is to do. Now, he's already missed his first deadline of April, and he's set himself a new deadline of August. But for me, that's far too optimistic. The Rao family dream of working less and living a mortgage-free life in the country. But their plan to move into their new Lincolnshire home by April has collapsed. They wanted a traditional range cooker to heat their kitchen, but realising monthly running costs would be too expensive, they've decided the building work will have to halt until they've extended underfloor heating from the new build into the old chapel.
We're all a bit disappointed about not having that cooker, but I'm not paying all that.
The new heating plan means even more work for John. He now needs to create a bigger boiler house from the old vestry. The schedule is now slipping and costs are mounting. The only way to keep his dream of being debt-free alive is to do all the remaining work himself. Pride and sheer doggedness doesn't even allow him to accept the family's help.
There's not a lot to do. You sit here watching my dad do all the work out there in all conditions. And then me and Mum would have sat here kind of rattling about, just getting on his nerves because there's just nothing to do.
Unable to sit back and watch John slave away any longer, Carol and Sophie take the opportunity to get back in the saddle and head off to a dressage competition. But for John, there's no respite.
I feel like the Incredible Hulk when he just pushes his way through walls.
Life in the caravan is to be endured. You just can't keep it clean, and it can be quite miserable. So we spend as much time out of as possible. It's so much nicer, now we're all together. I've got the horses in the garden, if you like. It's just fantastic. This is what it's all about.
Results. Sophie. Well done, Sophie. Thank you very much. Well done.
For John, the work is relentless. He sets about creating an opening in the old chapel that will lead through to the glass atrium linking the two buildings. Having missed his first deadline of April, he's determined to battle on alone to get the family in their new home by the summer.
I'm taking this out brick by brick carefully because I want to reuse the bricks. Should get about 500 bricks out of this, and at 65p a brick plus VAT, it's worth doing.
John is right to watch the pennies. With building costs exceeding his estimates, the budget is coming under increasing pressure.
We are going to be short because the glaze link I'd budgeted 10 to 12, that's coming in at 16. And there's the building on the side which we were not going to touch until after we'd moved in. I've now got to finance that, and that's about 4,000. So there's about 10 or 12 that I've got to find. I've just got to go out and earn it.
It's a mark of John's determination that rather than take out a loan to cover the shortfall, he heads out on the road again to raise money with his surveying work.
I feel under pressure all the time, and everything I'm thinking is got to be done at the double. There's no time to just, relax and try and enjoy the work a bit more, because there's now such a lot of work that can be done, and it's going to be done by me. Morning, George.
How are you?
Oh, fine, thanks. You?
Good, shall I come up?
Yeah, do.
The project is now 2 months behind schedule, and John has to cope with the pressure of juggling earning a living with single-handedly building his family's new home.
Yeah.
So do you feel like the progress of the build has sort of been compromised because you've got to leave site and go and earn the money, but you just have to do that?
Yeah, that's just a necessary evil, and you just got to work around it.
And how's the money going?
All right.
It's going.
It's going. It's going very quickly.
Just remind me what your original budget was.
It was about 90,000.
90,000. How much have you spent so far?
I think about 75, although the edges are getting a bit blurred because we're living on the same money out one pool.
I was always wondering why you weren't getting more people on board to just help you a bit more, to push it on to try and meet your deadlines, but you can't afford it, can you?
No, and when you're a practical person, it's almost a curse, because you know you have to do it if you can, rather than pay anybody else.
John's one-man band approach to this build is admirable, but the exhaustion is plain to see on his face. What he's taken on with this project is no mean feat.
How do you think John's handling the pressure in the build at the moment?
I mean, obviously we took this project on for various reasons, but one was to ease the pressure on John.
Yeah.
Basically how many hours he has to work and the outgoings, that sort of thing. So we knew that by doing this, things were not going to get easier straight away. Physically, he comes in absolutely shattered.
I'm not surprised he's doing everything.
It is a worry, because you know he's doing it for us, etc., but you just wonder just how much of a drain it is.
A week after my visit, things go from bad to worse. On a rare weekend away, indulging his passion for sailing, John's boat capsizes in bad weather.
I was thrown into the air and then dragged back down to the side of the boat, which spun round again. And as it went on its side, I crashed into the side of the boat on my side. I don't think I've just cracked ribs. I'm convinced I've actually broken one of them, because I can feel the two parts riding over each other down the side. Carol cracked a few ribs a year ago. She fell off a table dancing, and she was in a lot of pain for weeks.
With John out of action, there's no money coming in, and work on the build grinds to a halt completely for a month. This forced period of rest gives John a taste of the semi-retirement life he's longed for.
So John, are you now starting to get a sense of living the life that you were really wanting to establish for yourself here?
Yeah, we certainly are, particularly in the last few weeks. Now we've had some nice days, lovely sunshine like today. And one of the great things is you hear the sound of the skylarks in the background now. That takes me right back to when I was at school. We used to have lovely big playing fields, and we used to lie out there at lunchtime listening to these skylarks in the background, and it takes me right back to those days when you really didn't have a lot to worry about.
For Carol, the new life isn't yet living up to the dream. She's finding life in the caravan increasingly lonely.
I don't think I will really feel as though that I'm here, that I'm here to stay until we're in the house. I just feel as though like I'm blanking it off a bit. It isn't real at the minute.
Disillusioned with the time the build is taking and determined to help shore up the budget, she's found a part-time job in an optician's.
I do feel I need a job. I need that part of my life back. You sort of lose that bit of your personality. It's because so many parts have sort of changed. So yes, to get away is a break, and it's good for me. Definitely good for me.
John has finally recovered from his broken ribs and has returned to work on the build. But despite all his efforts, it's impossible for him to make up all the lost time if he carries on working alone. He's finally accepted that he has to get some help if the family are to avoid another winter in the caravan.
As long as all the people turn up when they say they're going to do, you know, we should still be on course to be in sort of end of August.
With builders hard to get hold of at short notice, John presses on and Carol lends support where she can. Her husband is putting in an average of 12 hours a day on the build, and Carol's more concerned than ever.
He's one tired man. I'd like him to be able to ease back and enjoy it more. Can't wait for it to be finished for that reason as well, so that John can get his life back.
Eventually, the brickies arrive to build the boiler house, and the glass atrium designer is taking his final measurements.
What it enables me to do is to set it out in the factory and make it so, bring it here, bang.
It's going to be like the jewel in the whole setting, particularly with the tinted green glass. I can't wait to see it now.
By late summer, 4 months after they were due to move in, the Rowells are still not in their new home. But there is progress. The boiler room is built, underfloor heating installed, and rooms are taking shape in the new build section.
I think you're good, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you've stripped out a lot.
Yeah, we're well on with the dry lining.
Yeah.
The new floor's almost down.
And you just started all the underfloor heating as well.
Yeah, that's complete in here.
But it's what, August? Well, very early August.
Yeah.
There's still a lot to do.
I was wondering how soon you get that comment in.
There is. There is. I mean, progress is good. But you look around and you think, well, floors have got to be finished and laid. Floors have got to be dry lined. You know, ceiling's got to be all done and finished.
I've got a target date for moving in.
Go on,
but that about middle of September.
Middle of September.
But that doesn't mean anywhere is going to be finished, completely finished. It means the place will be habitable, but there'll still be a lot to do.
Right. What about kitchen? Kitchen's a key thing, isn't it? I mean, this for you is heart of the home, fantastic new kitchen, built in that you can be in here cooking.
The kitchen units will be in.
Unusable.
You want everything.
I don't want a toy kitchen, John.
So are you going to have another winter in the caravan?
No.
Definitely not.
Definitely not.
I certainly hope not.
The couple still have masses to do before they can move in, and their budget must be under severe pressure.
Now, the build has obviously taken a lot longer than you imagined. You're sort of 2 or 3 months behind schedule.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's had a big impact on the cost.
Yeah, it has.
And it's cost you a lot more money?
I would reckon about another between 20 and 30 grand.
Wow. That is a lot more money.
Yeah, and it isn't just that building on the side that we've had to find the money for. It's the glazed link. I've gone for something a lot more sophisticated than we originally intended.
It's not a conservatory at all, is it? It's
No.
a real glass structure.
Yeah.
And that's good, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of the things
don't begrudge it.
It's one of the key parts of the house, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be money well spent.
So you're 20, 30 grand more,
Yeah.
but where's that extra money coming from?
I have access to 20, 30 grand.
Now, that all sounds a bit underhand to me. I think you might have to be a bit more clear.
No,
as to
well,
where that money's coming
all
from.
along, I've been trying to avoid any kind of a mortgage.
Yeah.
And I'm still aiming for that. So I can either do this on overdraft and one credit card, or I can go for a small mortgage. So either way, we'll have the money.
The thing is, if you go for overdrafting credit card, that's expensive debt.
Yeah.
You know, that's going to cost you a lot of money.
Yeah, but if it's only going to be short term, I mean, I might even get away with just the overdraft.
But the good thing about getting a mortgage,
Yeah.
and I know you never wanted to, but the good thing is that it's fairly low interest
That's
rate.
right.
You've got peace of mind about the level of debt you've taken
Yeah,
on.
I think I've just got to come to terms with failing what I wanted to achieve.
I think that
completely mortgage
yeah.
free.
I can fully understand John's reluctance to take on debt, but in the interests of his family, covering the shortfall with a mortgage is the only sensible way out of his predicament. This project has been beset by problems over the last few months. There's been John's accident. There's the schedule, which has gone completely out of the window. And the budget, well, it's now £30,000 over. And they've been forced to take on a mortgage, which they wanted to avoid at all costs. And with so much work still left to do, John's going to have an enormous challenge to have this house finished by the autumn. As the weather changes and the nights draw in, John works 16-hour days to try and get the family in their new home before another cold winter sets in.
Just another 4 hours to go. I just want it all to stop and end. If I was a marathon runner, I'm probably at the 20-mile stage and my legs have gone, everything's gone, and I'm just telling myself to keep going. I'll probably be ill at the end of all of this. You know, when I just suddenly stop.
John Rowell was determined to convert this derelict chapel into a family home in just 4 months. But he's missed deadline after deadline, and 4 months has turned into nearly a year. So I'm intrigued to know if at last John has finished the build. And from outside, it looks a bit of a mess, to be honest. There's still cracks in the wall. The windows haven't been painted yet. And out here, there's a complete building site, but oh look, at last, the glass link is in, and it looks fantastic. Squeezed into the door. How are you?
Good morning,
You are?
George. Oh, yes, thank you.
It's still a building site. I can't even get a hug off you for probably 10 minutes being
Hi,
over there.
George.
Hi, John.
You doing?
You're all.
It's
Yes,
part
thanks.
building site.
So you're still in the caravan?
Still living in the caravan, but my kitchen is in.
Is it?
Yes. So we can use the kitchen.
John should be proud of what he has achieved. 10 months ago, the old chapel was a derelict, damp wreck. Now it's been transformed into a modern, spacious kitchen that oozes style, even without Carol's range cooker.
This is my kitchen. This is
at it.
my area.
It's fabulous.
It isn't bad, is it?
It's absolutely wonderful. When you think of the condition that this building was in.
This has got such a good feel to it. I can't wait for the rest to be done. because I know it's all going to be the same sort of feel, and it's super.
John's design for this house works a treat, and the glass atrium he was so passionate about successfully links the old and new chapel. It feels like the real heart of the home.
Fantastic, man. Look at it. You see blue sky, you get the view outside.
Sunset, stars.
See the stars at night too there as well.
What John has accomplished is incredible. Driven by his determination to be debt-free, he single-handedly transformed a ruin into what will eventually be a beautiful home.
So your original budget was £90,000.
Yep.
How much more have you spent than that?
I've put in about another 12,000 from my earnings. We've taken out a small mortgage, 20,000.
Yeah, and you've taken out a mortgage?
A mortgage.
Did you say the word mortgage there?
Mortgage.
That was so hard for you to say that, wasn't it?
It was.
So 90
grand.
grand.
Admission of defeat. And then there's the cost of the kitchen.
Which is how much?
Which was 11.
11, so you had about £131,000
yeah.
total spend for this project.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the build to finish off will be paid for out your income.
Yeah,
as and when. Not too bad.
Not bad at all.
Not too bad in an old building like this.
Yeah.
The next few months will be a hard slog for John. But with only a £20,000 mortgage, when the work is done, he will finally be able to sit back and enjoy semi-retirement.
I mean, just thinking back over the life change over the last year, how would you describe what you've been through and what you've got now?
The last year has been the most stressful time that I've ever been through. Self-imposed as it was, it's still been really difficult, and I just can't wait for it to be over.
And I know you've all been through this, really, it's been an experience for all of you, but really none of this would have happened, I don't think, without John and his drive and his push on the build. I mean,
anyone else would have had teams of people in, not just one sole man just doing it all.
If you want to go with momentum and drive, this is the chap. Yeah, it's amazing, and he just keeps going. And whew.
But I needed these in support. Otherwise, there was no reason to do it, and I couldn't have done it anyway. Just knowing that they're there, understanding all the time, allowed me to keep on working into the dark, long hours.
Ooh, it's just
John is certainly the hero of this build, and now he's on the home stretch. He's also determined to get planning permission for the equestrian business his wife and daughter dream of.
You're still going to go for it?
Oh, yeah.
Still going to push it?
Yes, that's what we'd really like to do.
Well, I think we've got good grounds to get it through.
What John and his family have been through over the last year has been more stressful than you could ever possibly imagine. Building a new home and life is incredibly difficult. Now, okay, the build isn't completely finished, and yes, they have had to take out a small mortgage, which they never wanted to do. But the ultimate prize is still within their reach. Soon, this family will be living the quality of life they've always dreamed of.